Dude, this year movies have been absolutely cooking. What is happening? We've got movies like Backrooms, Obsession, Project Hail Mary, and we still have Spider-Man and Doomsday and like The Odyssey, freaking Paw Patrol, like let's go. It's just so refreshing to have good movies that are not tied to IP slop and franchises and cinematic universes. Like when you have two films that are arguably part of the most oversaturated movie genre that actually end up blowing up and becoming really popular and well received, then maybe that's a sign to start writing more original stories. Please? Please, Hollywood? Please? Okay, The Backrooms really intrigued me. You mean to tell me that The Backrooms, Kanye West, All of the Lights, Roblox, horror tycoon thing got a movie? But in and of itself, the fact that a concept that blew up on YouTube got turned into a feature film is groundbreaking. That's crazy. And thank God they got Kane Parsons to direct the damn thing, and they didn't just go for some random A-list director. First off, the visual design of this movie is amazing. You can see how much dedication was poured into the movie just by how good it looks. Like, they made a 30,000 square foot set that the crew actually got lost in. Thank you for using practical effects. Thank you for not using CGI slop. It adds so much atmosphere and such an eerie tone to the whole thing, it's so well done. I actually didn't really know how they would be able to translate a bunch of like 2-minute videos of found footage on YouTube into an actual movie, but the direction they took it in was very cool in my opinion. The idea that the Backrooms has a memory of people but doesn't recreate them to exactly be human is fascinating to me. Because human memory is so flawed and struggles with remembering very specific details, then in the Backrooms it creates a slightly deformed version of that real person and what they look like, and that's just so unsettling. I don't know why Clark would eat them though. What would compel you to do that? Just the feeling of something looking mostly correct but having a few little things that make it off-putting is such an interesting concept to explore. When you consider memories in trauma victims and how they can be both highly specific but also repressed, it makes a lot of sense why the main point of this movie is about grief and trauma and either craving it or trying to break free from it. An interesting take I read online is that even if the characters in traumatic situations escaped, the Backrooms still hold on to that version of themselves that never escaped and are stuck in that situation forever. I'm sure that the studio will learn lots of good lessons, like giving artists their freedom to create the stories they want to tell, right? I don't often get unsettled from horror movies, but Obsession was such a chilling experience. It was just so disturbing. I'm kind of glad, honestly, though, that they kept that and they didn't water it down or anything because it delivers the message so well. Indie Never Ready literally knocked it out of the park. I never want to watch this movie again. The parts where you could see Nikki trying to break free from, the wish, but then switch right back to the obsessed version of herself was very well done, but I hated every second of it. When she went backwards? What was that? It's just so jarring in the best way possible for the narrative. Maybe this is just me, but at the beginning of the movie, I was like, wow, Nikki is crazy. I feel bad for Bear. But as the movie went on, it showed you how the real Nikki was literally begging for Bear to kill her, and you could tell that she's just fighting this fake version of herself, and it's torturous. I think that's a very interesting way to frame it rather than just showing Bear, from the start be kind of this bad guy, I guess, because at the beginning you can almost sympathize with him. He's just he just wants this girl to like him and whatever, but then he does it in the worst way. This dude killed his entire friend group over a crush. Bear, as soon as Nikki said, "I cooked your cat," why didn't you do anything? Why was he yeah, let's just keep this going? I cannot express how terrible it was. I've never seen such a movie that delivers the exact intent and is so well done, but is also so incredibly uncomfortable to watch. What I love about these two movies is that they don't even rely on the typical jump scares or serial killers to scare you. It's all just psychological, which is the scariest kind because it's all in your head. But it's very telling that these two movies were so popular. People want good movies, just like Curry Barker said. Which brings us to Project Hail Mary. I am in love with this movie. I don't know what they did, but it's the best movie ever? Where do I even begin? So this movie flips literally every single space movie trope on its head. It's so interesting. Instead of the typical like scary alien space movie that fills you with dread, it's happy and uplifting, and it's a story about friendship. It's so fun. It's just like Superman. It's like hopeful and nice. This is Obsession. This is my version of Obsession. And like the concept of this movie is so interesting. There's a science teacher who has amnesia, and he's in the middle of space and has to save the world, and he becomes friends with this alien rock. Like, I mean, I guess I really shouldn't be surprised because the directors of this movie have this like phenomenal roster of movies that they've done, so like, of course they would make it really good. Sorry, I'm jumping around, but like right off the bat, this movie has done something that no other space movie like has ever done before. The character was put in a position where they needed to sacrifice themselves, and he said no. He didn't want to go and sacrifice himself to save Earth, and that's by far the most realistic reaction for anyone to have in that position. Absolutely no disrespect to Interstellar because this movie is phenomenal, but the fact that like Matthew McConaughey's character, I forgot his name, was just so ready to all of a sudden up and leave just like that, like, I understand, but it's so much more interesting to have a character say, absolutely not, I'm not doing that. Like, literally most people would react like that, but the fact that they forced him to go anyway, that creates an even more interesting story because he has to deal with the fact that he's away, but he didn't want to go, and then now Rocky thinks he's super brave, but he's like, no, I actually didn't even want to go, but that doesn't matter because he went and he did it and he saved the day anyway. That's like so cool. No matter what position that you might find yourself in, no matter what challenge, if you don't want to do this or don't want to do that, you can still do it and it can be better. It can be beneficial. It can be good for you. And it's just so beautiful to see. The way that this movie revealed Grace's memories was like also perfect. To me, flashbacks oftentimes fall flat because they just feel like shoehorned into the movie, but here it was like so natural and perfect, and you really got to see like what type of character Grace is. You got to see how much he cared for his students and how much he really truly wanted to help, and each character is so intentionally used and they all serve a purpose to the plot. Masterful writing, masterful. And Strat also was a very like complex character because she didn't want to have Grace go, but she knew that it must be done for humanity. It's just so crazy to see characters have to go through like the most impossible choice, but to do it anyway. So cool. It's so cool, guys. And then the combination of this movie having a dark, kind of depressing, like existential feeling in the beginning, and then as soon as Grace meets Rocky, then it's all colorful and fun, and the way that he talks and his mannerisms are so funny and whimsical. I love this movie, if you can't tell. Just the bond between two different creatures that are trying to save their respective species from extinction. It's so interesting because it's never been done before. The scene where Rocky offers to give Grace part of his fuel so that he can go back home is beautiful. Please go watch it. If you haven't, please, I'm begging you. And it's only 2.5 hours. There's a 4-hour cut of this movie. Please release it. Please. And just the themes of this movie are so hopeful and positive and joyful. I love the themes of sacrifice and a guy being betrayed for humanity while also being humanity's saving grace. Forgive me, but I never knew that Ryan Gosling was such a great actor. He plays Grace like amazingly, like, and the movie was also like really funny. It was really witty, but also very emotionally impactful and deep, might I say. And the voice acting again for Rocky is perfect. I love the way that he talks.
This room boring. Rocky! Science! Save Earth, good slam.
The framing and cinematography of the shots are so like intentional, and it's interesting how they actually move the camera around and they don't just film straight on. They play with the visuals and the colors are beautiful. And when Rocky and Grace went to Adrian, nothing like it. The score. Every aspect of this movie is perfect. The musical score is everything that I've ever wanted in life. It's so whimsical. The sounds are so fun. It's perfection. It is so catchy. I'm listening to it on repeat. How can they have so many parts to a movie and like nail every single one. I don't know, call me a glazer, I don't care. It's such a good movie. Hopecore is back, baby. I love this movie. Comment your favorite movie down below. Oh my gosh, I love movies. Thank you for watching. Thanks so much to my patrons. If you'd like to support me, go and check it out. I also just launched memberships if you want some very cool looking emotes and badges if you're interested. Thanks and see you next time.